Now, here in the UK, thousands of drivers could see their speeding fines cancelled after a fault saw some cameras falsely triggered on English A roads and motorways. National Highways says it's found more than 2,500 wrongful speed camera activations since 2021. This was due to a delay between cameras and variable speed signs, meaning some drivers were incorrectly identified as speeding after the limit had changed. Those affected will be contacted by the police and will be reimbursed for any fines, while points will be removed from their licences where needed. Well, let's now speak to Nick Freeman, lawyer specialising in the defence of traffic and speeding cases. Thanks for joining us on BBC News. How surprised are you by this news?
I'm not surprised, Catherine. There was a glitch in January 21. We sort of spend our career, amongst other things, dealing with these type of offences, and we've found on many occasions there has been a problem. And we've been able to prove this by a variety of different means, using expert witnesses or indeed using dash cam footage, which has illustrated that actually the cameras are recording the wrong speed. And it basically boils down to lack of synchronization by the introduction of some software, so that the cameras and the gantry signs were not working together. They need to be absolutely precisely working together. And motorists are afforded a 10-second grace period. And what's happened is here, as a consequence of this software being fitted, there was a 10-second delay, which meant that the speeds and the speed recorded on the signs and the cameras were not working in harmony together. And unfortunately, that's led to many thousands of motorists being wrongfully convicted, which of course will have huge ramifications for them. It isn't just a case of saying, right, we'll give you your money back and we'll wipe the points clean of your license. Some people obviously will have lost their licenses, lost their jobs because of the number of points that may have existed on their license. So the consequences are massive. And it relates really to, it's a camera called the HADX3, which is used on smart motorways. It's a very discreet camera, which motorists won't really recognise. And it constitutes about 10% of all the cameras on smart motorways and also on some A roads. So this is a huge thing because it's been going for about 4 years. So that civil actions are going to be difficult. And my advice to motorists will be to contact lawyers, civil lawyers. It's going to be very difficult to get compensation from the Highways Authority. But the first call in action for me will be to contact the police and say, look, you've done this, you've prosecuted me wrongly on the basis of information which I now know to be false. They do owe a duty of care to ensure that the prosecutions have the correct evidence, sufficient evidence, the devices are correctly calibrated, etc., etc. And it appears in many thousands of cases there has been a departure of that duty of care. So that will be my first course of action.
So how would people know if they've been affected by this?
Well, I think anybody who has been convicted of speeding on smart motorways, they'll obviously have penalty points, they'll have fines, etc., etc. They will know they need to go back and look and see, first of all, which camera it was. Was it a HADX3? If it was a HADX3, and if it was a speed below 70, my view will be that they need to contact either a lawyer or contact the prosecuting authorities. Everybody who's been prosecuted in those circumstances. If it's a different type of camera, a Gatso camera or something like that, it doesn't affect you. It specifically relates to the HADX3, which was the camera affected by this software introduced
Nick,
in January 21.
We have to leave it there, but thank you so much for taking your time to speak to us.
Thank you very much. Thank you.